Hi, everyone. This is Robert Wallace, your travel expert and world traveler. And today we're going to get a better idea of what is happening with hotel rooms on Priceline. So, what I've noticed recently when I've been taking a look at Priceline is the prices on various hotels, at least in Manhattan, seem to actually reduce and go down in price as we get closer to the date that we want. So we're going to, I kind of just saw this out of the corner of my eye, so to speak. And today I want to see if this is really the case. Okay, so let's take a look and let's use Manhattan and let's use today as a date versus what I want when I go on my vacation in February, literally a month from now. So today I have today's dates in here, and I just plugged this into Priceline to see if we could get see what kind of deal we could get around Midtown Manhattan, around Times Square. This is kind of where Mrs. Wallace and I typically stay when we are in New York City, right? I'm a teacher. I have plenty of free time, but I don't have a lot of money. So we're looking for places that are affordable on, my teacher salary uh, and not going to break the bank, so to speak, right? We have an entire vacation ahead of us, and the last thing I can really afford to do is to spend $500 on a night in Manhattan, right? That's not really our vacation. It's just a staging point for our real vacation. And by the way, it's not a month from now. It's actually 3 months from now. It's in April when our vacation is. So, uh, but we'll take a look at a month from now as well. So let's take a look at what we do have right here. Theater District, Midtown West, Hell's Kitchen. All this area is pretty kosher for us. We typically stay at around Penn Station, around Times Square, kind of near Port Authority, right? So Port Authority is up here on 8th Ave. Penn Station, MSG, Madison Square Garden, that's down here, right on 34th Street. And Port Authority is up at around 42nd Street, right? And Times Square is up in 42nd Street and Broadway, right in here. Excuse me, I got a little something going on in my throat. So let's take a look at this. We have this hotel here, right? This is really not what I'm looking at, but this says Ali's Hotel. It says it's four. They're rated as a 4-star by Priceline for 159. That's pretty good. And then I have a Holiday Inn here on Times Square for 119. Excellent price right here, I would say. And just taking a look around the Crown Plaza for 155. And I don't know Trip by Wyndham, but Wyndham's a pretty recognizable brand. Hampton Inn at Times Square for $119. So we're looking at some pretty good prices. Some of this is under $100. This Paramount Hotel in Times Square for 96. I'm just getting a snapshot for us so that we can compare it a month from now. Another Crown Plaza, 129. Let's just keep on looking around. RIU Plaza for 150. This thing's under 100 right here. So this is called the Manhattan at Times Square, under $100. By the way, as you kind of get closer and closer uh, to Central Park, which is right up here, you're going to see the prices start to go up, right? So like the Hotel Astoria is right up here. Same with the Marriott on the Park and so on. They're all right in here. This is basically Billionaires Row right in here on 59th Street. So we can see there's some pretty good deals to be had right in here. Okay. Granted, this is during the middle of the week. It is a Wednesday night. Let's just take a look at what our Friday night is looking like, right? So very good deals right there. Let's see if prices go up by a bit if we do a Friday night instead of a Wednesday night. So we're going to change our dates to Friday night, right? So we're going to move over to the 20th of January, checking out on the 21st of January, and let's see what we've got. And we'll zoom back in, same area, right? I think it's very important. If you like an area of Manhattan, you're familiar with it. I think that's where you want to kind of just that's going to be your staging point. If you're used to it, you're used to the subways in that area, you're used to, I don't know, the shops and the um, breakfast places, the diners and so on in that area. I say stay there. And that way you can kind of compare what you're looking at over time, right? You can always explore different parts of the city. Uh, we do, obviously, but we always stay at the same spot. All right. So I'm not seeing too much of a different price, right? I think that Paramount may have been $10 less on Tuesday. We got a couple others, right? So this one's oh wow, Intercontinental for 219. That's a 5 star, guys. There's no other way around that. That's a very very good price for right now, right? What's this one? The Hampton Inn. So I thought this might have been 119. Um, uh, on the Wednesday. Now it's at 159. Still, we're still seeing some stuff under $100, right? The Manhattan at Times Square is under $100 still. That's the only one we can find though that's under 100. But I'm not seeing these big. I didn't notice very steep increases, right? So here's that Lee's here. So it may have gone up a little bit. That trip went up a little bit. The Crown Plaza, okay, that definitely did go up quite a bit. What, at least $20? Okay, but it's giving us an idea of what we're looking at. Now, let us go all the way to April when I plan to stay overnight in Manhattan in the same area and see what we got for prices, right? So logically, we would think in a way, excuse me, I just got something stuffed up in my nose and it's not coming out. Okay, let's take a look at April and see what's going on here, right? So we're looking at staying overnight on the 6th of April to the 7th of April. And we just saw these prices here. Let's take a look at what they're going to be like. Of course, we're going to get the zoom out, unfortunately, but we'll zoom right back in and see what we got. Okay, take a look at our prices now, guys. Look at what we're working with. Now, this is April. This is a Thursday night. Okay, this isn't even a Friday night, and we're talking uh, February, March, April. 3 months, 3 months down the road, and we've got hotel rooms that are much. They're like double in price, right? So here's that Hampton Inn. Now it's almost $300, right? Let's take a look over here. The Blakely that I think I don't know. We did see it before. That's at 284, right? Let's see if the Dream 250, New York Hilton Midtown 286, Shoreham 244. See if these will even pop up. They won't even pop up for us. Let's see what else. RIU is at 364. That is quite a significant difference, right? That Manhattan. Holy smokes, guys! This thing is going for $96 tomorrow, and if you book it 3 months ahead of time, it's at 251, right? This is eye opening for us. Belvedere 257, the Hilton Garden, right? That was under 200, and now it's at 284. Crown Plaza, and there's nothing that I'm aware of, and we can do our research, guys, and see if there's just something that is happening in Manhattan that's huge, uh, right on these dates. My answer to that is no, there isn't something very important. Like the US Open, right, would be a big one. Like the New York Marathon. These are the types of things that pack the hotel rooms, right? Like the Thanksgiving Day parade, right? Those are days when hotel room prices are going to go through the roof because of demand. Everyone's coming into the city to participate in these types of things. But there is nothing that's scheduled to happen uh, you know, New York City wide from on the 6th of April, right? Still kind of cold weather, barely. I mean, it's just the very beginning of spring in the city. Uh, it's not the most attractive time to be in the city whatsoever. So I think we're learning something about Priceline here. The prices do increase as you get as there's more and more time before your time when you want to book, right? So in other words, it does appear that we want to book our um, room with Priceline really as close to the date as possible. Pretty interesting. This makes for a very, very flexible schedule for you when you're traveling, right? You know, now you have this tool in Priceline to get you a really cheap hotel room, or let's say the cheapest for your value right before you're going to stay someplace. Let's just do something else, right? So we looked at January 18th, and we looked at then January 20th. Let's do 1 month after January 20th. So let's go to like February 20th. Let's not do February 20th because now we're talking about President's Day weekend. That could actually drive up demand. Let's do like a week before that, right? So I think the 10th of February to the 11th of February. That's a Friday night, and let's see what's going on there, right? That's not part of President's Day weekend. Um, so let's just take a look at the prices 1 month out from today, and we can see that the prices are still quite inflated, right? Looking just 1 month into the future, right? Let's just pop into some of these. Here's the Manhattan here. So we're looking at around $20 cheaper than it was, right? Still much cheaper than what we see 3 months ahead of time, right? Here's that Belvedere again. Here's the Crown Plaza. That's pretty expensive at this point. Um, the Hilton's pretty expensive at this point. That's that Dream thing. The Blakely at 141. By the way, take a look at this Blakely. It has 4.5 stars rated on Priceline. This looks like a pretty interesting place to stay. Great location, by the way. Very close between two subway stations, and what I would think is a pretty decent part of Manhattan. You'd want to be, over in Fifth Avenue. This area right here is wonderfully, this is New York at its finest here on Fifth Ave, right at the corner with Central Park. So we're very. This is a great location, I think. There's a Hilton here. Let's take a look at what's right over here too, because the Hotel 57 says 4 stars for 134. So these are what we're looking at. 183. This Royalton. This is 4.5 stars too. Interestingly, and I'm not sure what park this is right here, but this is Bryant Park. Okay, and the Hilton right here, right near Bryant Park, really within a couple subway stations. This looks like a wonderful location. All right, Grand Central, by the way, is over here on the east side, on uh, kind of on Park Avenue, right? Park Avenue and like 42nd, 43rd Street. Okay, so if you're taking the train to definitely up to Points North, right, on the commuter rail up the Hudson River, and I think even into Connecticut, that would be where Grand Central. You would take the Grand Central to do that. So again, we are looking at this. Also, kind of corroborates this idea that you want to book as kind of late as possible on Priceline to get your best value. All right, that is a very, very interesting concept here. So um, I'm going to be doing a couple other comparisons on Priceline into the future, but I really get that feeling like, boy, you know, you don't want to be booking early. If you're booking on Priceline anyway, you don't want to be booking early. That's not making sense for you. It's like the opposite of airlines. Airlines, you want to book early, I believe, right? There's no like reduction in fare, I don't think, as you get closer and closer to travel dates. I think that they just introduced fares around 6 months prior, and there's going to be cheap fares and there's going to be expensive fares, and the cheap ones just get eaten up that early. Okay, that's my feeling about airline tickets. But for hotel tickets, it looks like it's hotel nights. It looks like the opposite. Okay, um, and that's where we're going to end this video for today. We may do a comparison too with various hotel rooms. I'm going to make this another video comparing it through the different hotels themselves, okay, and see if there's the same type of thing that we see here on Priceline. Wonderful, wonderful tip that we just learned about today. Have a wonderful day, guys, and as always, bon voyage, safe travels.